Hi, and welcome back to Zoolander.
Close enough. This is episode number 3 of Here's my resume, the Work Stories podcast,
Or whatever it's called. My resume.
Here's my resume. We're continuing today with part 2 of the Work Stories from the zoo. Last time we talked about the first year that we both did the volunteer program, along with a few other things that we thought were cool at the zoo, behind the scenes stuff. Well, I quit after the first year.
Gave up.
I did quit. I did give up.
He gave up.
I gave up, yes.
And then they killed his family. And here we are.
No one went back for a part 2. Round 2 the following year.
Yep.
And he's got lots of other crazy stories to tell. So I'm going to let you take it away.
First thing on the menu. They've got Mr. T. They've got freaking the Goonies guy. They've got Gremlins. That's a reference to a video that's not even out yet. This will definitely come out before that.
Do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we have 2 more backlog episodes of Stroll and Troll, and then 2 episodes of this.
Well, if Lycus keeps getting sick, we may run out quick.
Peep the base new design of the Ducans.
It's not new anymore. It's quite old, actually. Yeah, so I went back for round 2 at the zoo. It sounds like a banger fucking WWE. Like, round 2 at the zoo. Dude, put me in there with that gorilla. Somebody's going to be begging for mercy. And it's not going to be me.
It's going to be Kratos.
What? He's a bottom for sure. Yeah. So I worked at the zoo the second time.
Things that they said you could do the second year, like you could go with the lions and the tigers and
Yeah.
a few other animals, and you could work in there for experience, because you had experience doing the base level stuff. What did it consist of? I never really...
Everything. I was a shadow the whole time I was there. Like Shadow the Hedgehog. I followed around the zookeepers. Went everywhere they went. I did everything they did. I chopped vegetables while listening to Mike FM. I fed animals. I cleaned animals' cages. I went behind the scenes and into animals' cages. You know.
There was a story that I refrained from telling in the last episode because it was something that you had written down. We'll talk about it. It's the penguin exhibit.
Yeah, they had penguins at the zoo.
I think they still have penguins.
They still have penguins at the zoo.
I remember during zoo school, we got to go into the back area of the penguin exhibit and got to see what went on back there.
They had milker machines back there. For the penguin milk. They milk them.
What?
They milk the penguins. Don't you know birds are mammals?
True.
It's because they make milk.
I remember when I went back there, it smelt of one thing. It wasn't shit. It wasn't piss.
It was milk.
It was fish.
It was milk. Penguin milk. That's what it smells like.
It smells like fish?
Yeah. Because they eat fish.
No shit.
They're penguins.
True.
That's not... That's Mr. Krebs.
So I didn't like it. I didn't like going back
You
there.
didn't like the milk? Did you try it?
No, I didn't try the penguin milk.
You should. Nutritious. And delicious. Just like Lucky Charms.
You put the penguin milk in the Lucky Charms?
Oh, of course. That's what makes them lucky. I was kind of waiting for you. Hopefully you'd say, are you being intentionally dense?
Are you being intentionally dense?
So I did the Teen Zookeeper program for the second year. And the first year you had to apply for it, right? And you went through this whole process. Second year was like that times 2. And I swear to God, I had to like have a letter of recommendation from somebody because I got it from. I almost used his full name from my biology teacher. And I swear to God, he wrote me a recommendation letter for it. I'm pretty sure. And so you had to get that. Plus, I think I was too old, and I had to convince them that I was worthy of being part of this.
How about you were too old when you did it the previous year?
Because you age out at a certain point. When you get too old, they won't let you do it anymore. I can't remember what specifically it was.
I feel like it was like 16 or 15 you had to age out. Oh, another funny... Actually...
Shut up. I'm talking.
Okay.
You continue.
So, I never worked with any of the other people that were doing this program. I forgot to mention this in the last episode. Minus one person. I got to work with one other person. Worked with him for one shift at the goat thing. And...
his name was LikunMiffery.
Nope.
That was how I met your mother.
This guy was the exact opposite of LikunMiffery.
LikunMiffery?
He would not stop talking the entire time. And it was...
exact opposite of Lycus.
This
guy never
guy
talks ever.
This guy...
that's why we have him on our podcast.
Gave off the creepiest, cult vibes I have ever
I think,
felt.
oddly enough, I think I know who you're talking about.
I don't remember his name. I know he was homeschooled. And
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
it was so weird because I didn't know this guy. There was only one other person working with us. They didn't interact with this guy at all.
His name was LikunMiffery.
That's true.
Notorious for being homeschooled and culty.
And
just like Ann Pomeroy.
He was a quirky individual. I'm glad I never saw him again.
Now that's Dark Realm 7.
That's true.
Quirky individual.
Forgot to mention him. Forgot to mention him in the last episode. Sucked though. Never got to work with any other people. Never got to really meet anybody, which I thought was kind of the part of the point, other than getting zoo experience.
You get to meet the people that actually work there.
That are 15 years older than me.
They weren't that much older than you.
Yeah.
A couple of them were, but not all of them.
Yeah, a lot of them were actually fresh out of college or
the good
still
ones.
in college.
The ones that you like to be around because they're they know things. They're experienced in real life, but not enough to be annoying. You know what I mean?
True.
So, I do know it was harder to get into, but once you got into it, gates were open. You had to work with. It was one of 3 groups. I think it was large animals, carnivores and primates, and everything else. I think was the 3rd one. I'm looking at you like you know. You don't have any fucking idea.
I don't remember at all.
You weren't there.
I was explained the different categories, but I never.
But there were 3, remember. Just like how in the first year there's 3 categories. You either pick up shit from a goat, pick up shit from a horse, or pick up shit from a bird. There was pick up shit from a lion, pick up shit from a bonobo, or pick up shit from a lizard. So each department had their own cool and quirky little events. Plus, I got to go into the zookeeper building, and I just stood there awkwardly by the door, waiting for my zookeeper to take me and rescue me from this awkward as fuck situation, where I'm in a room full of fresh out of college women, just by myself, and I'm just help me, I'm a socially awkward prepubescent boy, and this is very sketchy for me, because I like women, and there's a lot of them around me, and I can't talk to women. So, help me. I'm better now. Link in description. Yeah, so the lizard guy was cool. He had really long hair. You go in the lizard house, but behind the walls, I got to paint a little enclosure. You get to open all of them and feed them, and they're full hands on. They'll be like, all right, this one's poisonous, so be quick. Okay, I'll be quick. Then you feed them whatever it is they get fed. There were so many of them. You feed the bats and shit, and you go in there. This is a big part of everything. is I've probably been inside of every enclosure in there, except for the palace cat, because that bitch is rough. That fucker is insane. I did feed the palace cat though. I threw food at it. I was supposed to. I didn't just do that to piss it off. There was another common thing is feeding the animals. There was a lot of that, but I've been inside the spider monkey cage. I've been inside the lion cage. You know, picking up shit all over the place. The craziest thing, you were talking about power washing the penguin enclosure. I power washed the lion enclosure. I was tasked with spraying the piss stains that the lions leave behind. I don't know if you've ever had a cat piss on something. That shit does not come out. And I was down there for hours. Hours! Getting eyeballed by him. You know, Simba and his bride, Mufasa. As I'm like spraying them their piss water. No, spraying the piss with water. And yeah, so there was a lot of behind the scenes cool stuff. I got to feed red pandas with my hands. Just like straight out of my hand. Just like, here you go. Here you go.
Nom, 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 nom.
Just like that. But he's the furry.
Nom, nom.
Link in the description to which furry do we want to link to? Dan Snake or Ben Cheese? Which one? Yeah, I did get the power wash the penguins. They were in there and they flipped out. As soon as you turn on the power washer and start going at it, they're like, ah! They all just run out the doors. And they waddle, I guess. It's really funny. But that shit stunk like fish, like Tyler was saying. The penguin milk is crazy. Got to feed them, which was cool. Got to be in the cage during like a presentation about the penguins. But I got to feed them with the fucking... by the way, penguin tongue is wild. It feels really weird when they grab that fish out of your hand. I've said some questionable things the past few episodes of this. I don't know if I'll come back from this. I'm going down a dark path. I got to feed some stuff live fish. Got to feed some stuff live mice. That was always sad. Pinky mice. They're like the little baby mice. The ones that don't even have hair yet. They literally just burr them and feed them to shit. It's crazy. It's way crazy. But it was cool. I ate a couple. I did not. I've eaten crickets, but I've not eaten baby mice. I've also eaten a lot of dog treats. Can you tell?
Oh, we'll talk about that at some point.
Can you tell that I've eaten a lot of dog treats?
Yeah, I think it's pretty noticeable.
He's talking about this. Don't fill up on dog treats. You won't eat your dinner. What do you want to know? What else do you want to know? I got to throw a giant rats up to like big birds. Not big bird. Big birds. Like birds that were big.
The vultures?
No, I don't even know if the vulture was still there when I was there. Because they didn't have it. The lemurs died too, shortly after I left. But I don't know, everybody was cool. You either get stuck with one of three people. The long-haired guy or one of the two. This like massive woman who was like buff out of her mind, who was like the lion woman. You would expect her to be the lion person. And then the other one, which was like a skinnier white woman who was like, hey, I'm the otter guy. And I'm like, oh, cool.
I'm sure working with the otters was fun.
Yeah, it was okay. They're cute. They're fucking adorable. The most adorable little fuckers on the planet. And then opening the zoo is crazy too, because you get to let all the animals out of their cage into the wild. Like the spider monkeys. Which you can't stand too close to, because they'll fucking grab you. They'll grab your clothes, and they will not let go. So don't do that. That's why they have to bribe them with food to let you go. It's insane. They have the baboons there too. Those fuckers are scary. They're big.
They are pretty scary.
There's nothing more sketchy, though, than when you're like... The only thing in between you and a lion is a steel bar. You know? And you're literally standing, like, within feet of a lion. That's fucked up and crazy. And that fucker will kill you. When I was coming out of the what's it called? Where they keep the lions?
Enclosure?
No. That, like, the building.
It was their indoor area?
But it had a name. What the fuck was it? Feline house?
Feline house, probably, yeah.
Big cat house? Something like that. It's where they keep the monkeys and the lions and the tigers. When I was coming out of there, there's like this like brown fence that covers up the gate into the lions and into the, I think baboons were right on the other side, because the spider monkeys were all over here, so it must have been the baboons. It's just kind of like it's like the same kind of fence that's in between a batter and the crowd. So it's not like crazy or anything. And that's what's in between you and the lion. And I turned my back and that motherfucker went for it. Tried to get me. He didn't win, obviously, because there was a fence in the way.
Did you not learn from Owen Grady? Never turn your back to the cage.
Their vision is based on movement. Don't move.
That's
Alan. Dr. Grant?
Hey, never turn your back to the cage. Duh.
Why would I listen to fucking Chris Pratt? You know what else Chris Pratt has said? It's a me, Mario. I don't trust a damn thing that motherfucker says. It's Chris Pratt we're talking about. Shout out Chris Pratt.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Woo! Yeah, baby. What else does he do? Owen Grady? Oh, he's not in those movies anymore, I guess.
Wasn't he on... He was on 30 Rock, or was it The Office? Wasn't he at one of those shows?
No, he was on Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, that's what it was. Okay.
Shout out
Tina Fey. I think she's 30
Shout out
Rock.
Ron Swanson.
I don't know who's on 30 Rock. Wait, that's Tina Fey. Tina Fey's on 30 Rock. Who's on Parks and Rec? Is that the Terry Crews one?
No, that's
Is that Blue Bloods? No,
it's
Blue
not
Bloods.
Blue Bloods. That's crazy.
No, what is it? Pardon the interruption.
What the fuck is that called? I want to say Area 51. It's like 911 Miami or some shit like that. What the fuck is it called? It's a good show. It's funny as hell.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's what it is. You're so right.
Man, we're going to do a deep dive of that on the podcast.
Yeah, dude. That's a fucking funny show. You should watch that next. After One Piece.
I watched that before One Piece, actually.
You are so beautiful. That's the song from, what's that movie called? The review just came out recently.
Batman Forever?
No, the one you hate. The movie you hate. Well, Batman Forever is a terrible movie, let's be real.
Wreck-It Ralph 2?
No. Rugrats? No, it's...
Little Rascals.
Little Rascals, that's the fucking one.
I
Fuck
hate
that movie. That one's terrible.
I hate that movie so much.
God,
there will eventually be a
movie.
top 10 worst movies of all time that I've seen list. Still making it, but one will come out.
You're making
eventually.
a top 10 worst games you've ever played list?
I will. I gotta rewatch the old list that I made. It was like top 6 or top 5. See if any of them like hold up as like still one of the worst.
I doubt Captain Toad will be on that list. There's no way. That was just for the memes. Really.
It might be a dishonorable mention.
Well, you didn't really hate that. It was just kind of a meme that you did. Did you actually hate Captain Toad?
It's not as terrible of a game as I made it out to be, but it's not great.
Not like projections or whatever the fucking creepy ass game
That
is.
one's definitely gonna be number 1. The one where you're just like this cube object and you're just spinning around in like this most disorienting landscape ever, and there's nothing to do. You're just like jumping around.
Just like me, for real. Just like me in the lion enclosure. I had to be at the zoo even earlier in this program as well. Because there's a lot of food prep. I spent a lot of time cleaning dishes and prepping food. The meat, by the way, that they serve them is like animal grade ground beef. It comes in a tube just like ground beef, but the tubes are like this big. Like, oh fuck.
Damn.
They're like this big.
Damn.
Help. They're like that long. Oh fuck. They're big, okay? I don't know.
Thick tube.
Yep. And then the vegetables, they have like yams and whatever. You spend a lot of time cutting up yams and shit. listening to Mike FM all the time. The whole time. The same 10 songs. Mike FM. Shout out Mike FM. Chris Pratt's favorite studio.
Do you have any crazy visitor interactions? I don't remember any, because the zoo was never busy when I worked.
Any crazy visitor interactions at all, in either program, especially in the second year, because I really didn't see that many visitors.
Yeah, because you were behind the scenes a bunch, so
yeah, I was there for a couple talks, but I kind of just stood there and did nothing. Maybe I did something and I just don't remember it. But the visitors I didn't do anything with, really. I love the otters, though.
They're fun. All the animals in the zoo are
adorable
fun.
as fuck.
Oh, that's the one that smells like popcorn. The Bintron.
Binturong.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
God,
That fucker's weird.
Been thinking about that a while.
They were worried about that guy when I was there. I know that, because he's really shy. I think they should get him a friend. I think that's why he's shy.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. That's a Golden Girls song.
Raw! I popped my ear when I said that. Raw! Did it again. Raw!
Chew some gum.
Raw!
I try to think of other crazy zoo stories. I guess I don't remember if this was when I was the camp counselor, of when I was actually in the camp, but I got stung by an invisible bee on the playground.
We're cutting that one out for sure.
No. Okay, so here's what happened. I was playing on the playground, and it was a pretty hot day, but it wasn't super hot. So I think this was when I was a camper, and I put my hand, those posts. On playgrounds, the support posts, where there's a platform in between, 4 of them.
Yeah.
I put my hand on one of those, and I felt a bad sting. There wasn't anything on it, though. That's why I put my hand there. If there was a bee on there, I wouldn't even thought of putting my hand on there. But then I was I stung. Okay, I was like, oh, it's really hot. I might have just, temporarily burned my finger. I look, and I had the marks when you get stung by a bee. But there was no fucking bee there.
He's got tetanus.
This was several years ago. I'm fine.
He's got tetanus, and he's dead. Or dying. When are we going to do rabies vlog? I feel like I'm underselling how cool the second year in the Zookeeper program was.
It sounded really cool.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to say, really. It's more like you had to be there.
Did they offer anything for you to do, after that? Or was that it? You were just
That
done?
was the only thing I could do. Because, I
you
think I was too old.
They didn't offer you any, part-time positions to keep working there?
No. It wasn't like an internship or anything. Plus, I was still in school. Otherwise, I totally would have. And I might have stayed in college at that point. Because I would have already had a job lined up. But I didn't see any point in learning history of government to be a zoologist, so dropped out of college. Because I was paying a ridiculous amount of fucking money for teachers who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And I had to, and I had to fucking buy textbooks that I never used. And I had to work a full-time fucking job while also being in college just to pay for the fucker. Because every scholarship I got wasn't worth fucking shit. Thanks, Boy Scouts of America. I'm so glad I sold thousands of dollars of popcorn every year for a $100 scholarship.
We'll talk about that when we talk about Boy Scout work.
We'll have to
Cub
talk
Scout
about
work.
Boy Scout popcorn eventually, because that fucking shit sucked.
Oh yeah, selling popcorn is definitely something we'll talk about.
I've done 8-hour shifts in that, too. That fucking shit sucked.
2 hours for that sucked.
Yeah, 4 hours was abysmal. Nothing better than hot chocolate at a bank, though, I tell you what. That'll be a future episode.
And I think this is a good point to leave it off on for this episode.
I don't feel like I have a lot to say.
For this episode, and that's everything we did working at the zoo. We want to know if you ever worked at a zoo. let us know your experiences in the comments section down below.
Like us, let me know.
Were they any different or better than what we did? Worse? Who knows?
If you happen to recognize us from working at the zoo with us, call me, I guess. I don't know. We'll talk.
8675309.
I don't know what we'll talk about. We'll get you on the podcast as a guest.
Next time, guys.
It's a party. It's a party.
This was not the only job that we ever worked.
Might be after this.
True. We'll be retroactively fired from each of the jobs before we could do anything. For today, see you guys later. Bye.